they then had. Once you have more seats, it means everybody can shut up and hear your point and take it into consideration or attempt to.
I think
Yes.
more in simple terms, it's all about the motion. In Parliament, when you have more seat, whenever they have a bill that they need to sign or they are discussing things, they have to vote. So the more seats that you have, it means you guys, you together. So when you have a lot of numbers, of course, it's going to I mean
Hmm.
to I which word would I use, man? But I mean, like it's a motion, it's about the motion when it is going to overcome the other parties, when you have more seat
In
in
numbers.
yes, in numbers, because they vote at the end of the day and they have to take decision, and when they have to take decision they go to vote. So of course, if ANC have a lot of numbers, they stand together, and then the opposition will always struggle. That's what it means in simple term.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, coming to the numbers, as much as I hope people are watching the screen that I am sharing with them at home, because I believe instead of going through all of those parties, we just need to look at the green side of things. Which parties, are on the greener side, because we see here DAs on the greener side, they have gained 3 seats, and then MK have 58 seats in parliament, and then we come to IFP, who have gained extra 3 seats in parliament, and then the PA, the newly PAA, not the newly PA, but a PA of Gayton Mackenzie, they have 9 seats
Hmm.
in parliament. As we know that Gayton
Oh,
Mackenzie
wow.
Mackenzie is advocating, he wants to fix the home affairs. We had him being interviewed, during the election program there, being asked that, what are the changes that you want to see? He was just, what, illegal immigrants must go. That's what he is advocating. He wants the home affairs to be fixed. He was asked about the economy. It was like finance levied to EFF. We want to deal with the illegal immigrants in our country. So the PA has 9 seats. That means we are going to be seeing more of Gayton Mackenzie in Parliament. And then Action SA has 6 seats, and UDM also, has gained 1 seat. Together with Rise Mzansi, they have gained 2 seats in parliament. This, all of it, it sums it up to 400 seats in parliament. So we see that there are newly changes, and how things are going to go now. It's something that people, did not expect. It's a newly structured thing, when it comes to this coalition government that we are looking forward to, and seeing who is going to be elected as the next president of the Republic of South Africa. So right now, in terms of how things, have been moving, I believe, people are asking so many questions. So right now, I have Nolu on TikTok, she's asking that, so is the coalition government necessary? So I just want to start, because I believe we all have our own opinion. So when it comes,
Mhm.
according to me, when it comes to coalition government, I believe each and every party has their own interest into, running the country.
Country, yeah.
We believe, for me, in terms of running a country with a lot of different provinces and a lot of population, with one leader. Okay, with one leader, it does make sense, but now the leader, people who do the job, they do the job for the country, and for the people, they should be scattered in many ways. We shouldn't be one-sided and narrow-minded with these things. So with the coalition, I believe, with altogether those ideas that they have, they must sit down and find a way, on how to scatter them and make sure that they work for the people of South Africa instead of not their own interest.
Yes.
That this is what we have done for the country, but not for the people.
Yes.
So we see a lot of people making these deals behind doors so that they can accumulate wealth for themselves, because there's this thing whereby now parties are being exposed on who fund them to be where they are. You know, we see this Oppenheimer stories that, you know, parties are funded by these rich, white, wealthy people who have benefited, you know, from the work of black people back then. So that's my view, but it's a lot. So I just want to hear from you guys. What's your view?
My view about it, it's all about holding people accountable. You know, because like once you are one party, it means you can do one thing together. You know, so if there is opposition, there are people that will hold you accountable and ask question about the agreement and the things that need to go to people on the ground. You know, because you know, if it's one party, as I've said, it's something that they can agree, you know, upon themselves. So which means people are not gonna benefit anything on that. So correlation, it's something that will hold people responsible and accountable. You understand? Because there will be questions and then about the agreement and the things that they supposed to be done on the ground. That's my understanding about it.
Definitely, to add on Mr. Jabu,
Yeah.
I'd also say it is indeed about holding people accountable. Look more, it is not entirely a new thing. It's just that we have a country or leadership that does not want to remember or chooses to forget when they want. It is not a new thing to have people of differences actually hold the parliament and work together. If you look at 1994, when President Nelson Mandela came in power, who was he ruling with? He was ruling with de Klerk together with the leader of IFP, if you still remember, those that can remember. But it has been done before to have people in the parliament that do not have the same views, but decide to focus on what they agree on for the betterment of the country. It can be done in our times as well. It is doable. Like I said, if people put people first in their heads, they're not about themselves. They would not fear to be held accountable. They would not fear to sit with somebody who's going to say to them, but where is this money going? But where is this in the Constitution? But how are we not fulfilling what is in the plan and we said it was going to be done? You know what I mean? It reminds me again of the interview that we had last week, where we had Muslim Yimane said, it's not even about being president. It's about having seats in the parliament and having people on the ground that you can reach out to, that you can go back to them and say, but you promised us that there would not be load shedding. Why do we have load shedding? So if they have coalition and they have people on the provincial and regional, the people that are regional, those are our people. Those are the people we can go to and knock at their doors and say, but we were promised this. And they cannot in turn say it is the government that is leading us that's making the decision, because they would have called it and then they would be in agreement with whatever they have been, whatever has been discussed. So it is necessary, yes.
Yeah, I mean, as we have seen and come up to the 2024 national and provincial elections, we know that the validation was all about the people's interest. So we went outside, you know, and asked, you know, visited some of the few voting stations that are around us here, which is our local schools, you know. So we had a few interviews, and this is what the people had to say. So right now, I'm just going to share my screen with you because we went outside and we spoke to the people. So this is what one of the citizens had to say.
Much as today sazi ukuthi langa lokuvula, so mina ngifukwazi ibhomola ukuthi yini my expectation unawo since ubutani.
Okay, my expectation now. You see, but I would see our familiar collective values, but I would see that usually see currently at it online by a telling that and this and it's you know, we took the tea about that along today. What they again in the money if I chat. yeah, yeah, everything it takes you one magic. This is the relevant about the people that I'm actually for enough to not really out and it up really out actually our skin in this then it's like out in the blood. And it also put up in the pain of it up to be that are to get off the one. Oh, for that, I get that the mother never teach your figures such a people in case like it's really a bed and so I should have like to keep over that and did that and did it. I actually made it a beneficia is to it up in touch with soul that's a thing up in that. It shouldn't you want. Yeah.
So the concerned citizens to believe in the agree the party with they can bring the change get our threat and they will.
Yeah, they have to get this and they change it. What's the wrong financial? I can really buy on the day that the offer is called our product. Buy the change. If I want to pay, remember pay other things you get by it. They were this for that things they will go. And they take the people now for like that. And I can't. They will take that over that energy they do.
I think you're gonna forgive us with the audio there, because there are some, sounds behind the footage that we have just provided for you there at home. So basically, what she was saying, she was voting for a government that will come in power and change how things are in terms of the illegal foreigners coming into this country and taking jobs from the citizens of South Africa. Because if you're a citizen of South Africa, there's that time and period that you are given so that you can prepare yourself from for a workspace, to do some skills and apply them to the job that you want. So it's that thing that whenever you are at school, that period, there's somebody who's going to come from outside, and they will demand work and they will demand to be paid less. So the government, basically what the lady's saying is that the government should come in and intervene in those kind of things. So right now, ladies and gentlemen, let us take a short break, and then when we come back, we will continue discussing further what we have. So right now, we're just gonna take a short break, and then please, guys, do not forget to subscribe and share the live on TikTok. If you're on TikTok, press the screen, tap the screen, like the live, leave down a comment, and tell me what you think. Did the election turn out the way that you wanted it to be? And did your party that you voted for, came out, as expected as you wanted it to be? So let us take a short break, and then when we come back, we're going to continue. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. You are still watching Mzansi Affairs with me, Moeketsi, my money, together with Mr. Jabulani in studio, and we have Nosi on the call. So, guys, I just want to now, break down what the lady has just said. She went to the voting station, and she had her reasons why she wants to vote and the kind of change that she wants to see in her own community and the country. So I just wanna ask you guys, what do you think, about her concerns, in terms of illegal people coming into this country and taking jobs away from them? I will start with you, Nosi.
More, my argument would not be so much on the jobs, right? And I would say why. I believe that everybody is presented with the same day, 24 hours in a day, and opportunities are out there. Whether you chase them and get them, or you sit and not chase them, that's a debate for another day. But I will focus on them coming into the country illegally. That is the biggest problem of this country. Mainly because if you do not know that there's a person in your house more, you cannot cater for that person. Nor can you hold them accountable for any action that they will do because they are invisible, though they are there. So we have that problem in the country where we have people that are not on the database, that are not on the Home Affairs systems, that are not counted in this country in any way, but they live in here. which then means should they not get what they were hoping to get in terms of jobs when they came and sneak into the country, they will then resort and crime. And they would do that with such boldness because they know that nobody is going to capture them and hold them accountable because their fingerprints do not exist anywhere in the databases of this country. Then they will get away with all the crimes they will do. That, for me, has always been a problem. So if a person says, I went in and voted for somebody that says, I will make sure that all immigrants are documented. I'm not saying Africans must not live in Africa. I'm saying they need to be documented. So if this lady says, I went out there and voted for somebody who's going to make sure that they are documented and they are held accountable when they do something that is wrong, that is contrary to the law of this country, I say she voted right. But the jobs part, that is open for negotiation.
More, I think for a citizen, it shows maturity when she go and vote with a reason. When you leave home and then you said you want change, it means you're going to vote the party that's gonna bring change or that's gonna be concerned about foreigners. If you complain about foreigners, if you complain about jobs, load shedding, and so forth. So that means you're gonna vote the people that are willing to change those sectors. So about foreigners, the problem that we have is the foreigners that come illegally. We accept everybody in our country. It's a free country, but people they must have documents, to do right things because once you have documents, you will hold yourself accountable because it will be easy for you to be traced. So when they come in illegally, it's a problem. They can do whatever that is not right for our people around here. With jobs, it shows when they come in with numbers without documentation, it means they're gonna take everything. The jobs that we're supposed to make a living, it comes cheap. Because they take anything. They are hungry. As long as they eat at the end of the day, that's the only thing that they need. But for me, there are people that I know that I need to support. So I need to negotiate with you until we come to terms that if you want me to do this for you, you need to pay a certain amount. So they don't negotiate, they take everything. So it looks like they are taking our jobs at the end of the day because for them it's like I need a shelter, I need something to eat tonight, and then I'll see tomorrow. And then that makes difficult for us as a South African, qualified or not, because they come in with a skill. Some of them, they're electricians, they are plumbers, there's nothing that they can do. So imagine if you go to school to those fields, it means it's already closed. They already closed that gap. It's cheap labor, and then they can do the job because they're qualified, but they don't have documents at the end of the day. So that's where there is a glitch from them to us, and we just need to address it right, and we start afresh. If it was me, a president, I would say, everybody go back to your country. We sweep here at home and we make sure that everything is okay, and then we tighten our border so that when they come illegally, and then they come with qualification and the skills to provide for our country. They are all welcome. They are our brothers and sisters. I don't see any problem. And with us as well, we can go to Africa, to do the same as we go illegally, and we make sure that we have the skills to provide in their country. So that's how we're gonna be good at the end of the day.
I mean, when you look at the bottom line of everything, how we have got here into this coalition thing. So right now, as much as the ANC has proposed a lot of things, we saw the president signing the National Health Insurance Bill, last month. It happened, and a lot of people are asking themselves where this is going. Is the president doing it for the elections so that they can win people's interest? Or they're doing it really for the people. But now we see parties like DA opposing this NHI bill. Now, what is it that we are going to expect in terms of how things are going to turn in this coalition? Because The ANC has proposed this, and they say it's for the people. It's going to work for the people. The DA, they are coming and saying, we don't want this. So it goes back to what each and every party wants for this country. It's like some of their needs and some of the things that they have proposed in the manifestos don't really match, and they do not align with each other into making sure that this country gets into a different place. Because what you have mentioned right now, the education system is something that is very, very important. We haven't seen somebody, emphasizing more on changing the education system and making sure that it works better for the people of this country, because there are a lot of opportunities that can be created. But now, when people are in power, they see that when people get, more elevated and more knowledgeable about things, they're not going to beg anymore. So let us keep them in that corner so that we can go when it's rough, when we need them to cast their vote so that we can win and satisfy our own interest. Because now right here I have a blog from IOL, which is from the election results 2024. Ramaphosa, Mr. President, saying the election outcome proves that our democracy is strong. So this is what the president has to say. Had to say. In Midrand, Ramaphosa said, this marked a pivotal juncture in the nation's democracy journey as a testament to the resilience and unwavering commitment of our people to the principles of freedom, equality, and also freedom. He said, our people have spoken. As the leaders of parties, we have heard the voices of our people, and we must respect their wishes. This first paragraph itself, it's like, okay, our people have spoken. As the leaders of the parties, we have heard the voices. For all along, which voices have you been hearing? Like, I'm just asking myself.
That was my question.
Yes, people have spoken. What have we been saying all along to, these parties? It's something that's so underlying that now these people, they really, don't take us that much serious, because you can't come there and address the nation and tell the people that we have heard. All along, we have been trying to talk to you.
Have you not been hearing?
Have you not been hearing what the people have been crying about?
I think more it shows that when you're in power and then you've got a majority, you come to undermine. So we were undermined long time ago. They were not taking us serious because they know that they've got majority. They do as they please. At the end of the day, so they've said that your vote is your voice. So people are voicing out whatever that they need, So that you can see that ANC has lost power, to show that people want to be heard. People don't want to be undermined. People, they say there is something that is not going right, That's why the first thing that Ramaphosa underlined and see that they can take out us from the power if they want, these people. So it's a little bit shaking them that, hey, don't go there, don't push us up to so far. So that's why now they need a correlation, and then there will be something that people can hold each other accountable and make sure that things are good on the ground and everywhere in South Africa, So they mustn't undermine people. So they will undermine people because they know that they can win vote with majority every time. So, and then if you can check at DA, it's a big opposition because their manifesto is not aligned with ANC, So I don't think it will make a match for DA and ANC to be together on the top, because they will be opposing each other every day. So it means we'll have crisis on the ground, So they need to take a better decision as the ANC, and then coming back to people and give us what we asked for.
Just to add a bit there more, Mr. Jabu just made a very powerful statement. He says your vote is your voice. I think that the ruling party has not been hearing because people kept voting them in power, which in turn then suggested that everything is well on the ground, even though they knew it wasn't well. But because they still had people that were willing to keep them in power, and they could then argue in turn and say, you say we are not working. You say people do not like us. They want change. But why are they then still voting for us? Why are we still in majority? So now that they have met and at a different vote, they know how it feels like not to be a majority anymore. Maybe that's the reason he was saying that people have heard, because now the votes are suddenly different and the votes are our voice.
Yes.
Yeah, so on TikTok, comments are coming. We have Fistos 1096, and he's asking that does he know our wishes? As stated, man, I think your question is very, very valid. Because in terms of the people's wishes, the president has come out each and every time when he speaks. He's just speaking like these are just children, of this country. But the wishes of the people is something that the president really did not tap into. And then he says, Fistos comes back and say he thought of immortality status. Indeed, man, there's no immortality when it comes to these politic games, man. So we have Renio Christie saying, finally, we gonna have a chance. When you're smart, a minority can govern majority. That's true. That's true. Because I want to take you to the KZN update on what happened in KZN. A lot of changes have happened in KZN, and we have seen people coming and from who is she, the premier, in KwaZulu Natal. Apparently, she's been heard. She was crying that she has been working, like they have been working from January to make sure that the people, gave them the results that they want. So right now, sharing a screen with you, the KZN update. This is the lady that I was talking about. KwaZulu Natal, Nomusa Dube Ncube says the provinces,
Yes.
yes, the province's incoming administration has a very strong foundation on which to build the province. Our government will not stop working, she added. And Dube Ncube was speaking at the release of the provincial results at Electoral Commission of South Africa's Results Operations Center in Durban, ICC, on Sunday. So this is how KZN is looking like. So on national, MK party is sitting on 45.93%, followed by the ANC in 17.64. This is a huge thing because now people have been heard. People, they want what they really demand, So we see there, again in provincial, MK is leading the way with 45.35%. And then in regional is also MK party is 44.89%. So people on the streets were asked that, so what do you think of the MK in KwaZulu Natal? So people of South Africa had to say, you know what, since MK is now in party, we want to see, we just want to give, we just want to do a trial test run to KwaZulu Natal.
Yes, yeah.
Let's see what MK will do. If MK do changes, that means the whole of South Africa will spread into, MK people. And then Renio Christie saying, I think about how good service was before 1994. Everything besides the apartheid treatment. That's true, dating back to how infrastructure was looking like, dating back to how the economy was like. It's something that we really need back into this country. People feel like ANC have taken that away. So it's that kind of thing that people really want to see coming back into, the country. So I don't know what you think about that, guys. So let us take a short break, and then when we come back, we are going to conclude. So, guys, please do not forget to follow us on our social media platforms. We are available and streaming live. And thank you so much for your comments, guys, on TikTok. Please do not forget to press the follow button, share the like, and leave down your comment and tell us what you really think about the election results that have occurred in the past week. Let us take a short break, and then we're going to come back and conclude. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are still discussing the election results that have been finalized in Sunday right here in our country. So please do make sure to leave down your comment and tell us what you really think. My name is Moeketsi. I'm together with Mr. Jabulani right here, and we have Nosi on the call. So, guys, in conclusion, I just want to know your thoughts. In moving forward when it comes to the results. We have seen a huge change in KZN, because as much as we believe that, your vote is your voice,
I think more people from KZN, they have much faith in Mshulos, So I think they've give themselves on, to say like, we want to do this, we want a change, we want to replace ANC, and they did, That shows that they understand each other, and it looks like it's a culture thing. So all what we need to watch in other provinces is how are they going to win with MK, So if MK do well in KwaZulu-Natal and make sure that they give people what they've asked for, they're going to dominate, because some people, they say because it's a new party, we've seen a lot of party when they are new, it's exciting, The other thing that I'll say, MK need to avoid to fight inside the party, for each other, fighting for power and everything, They just need to make sure that they divide themselves to a level that everyone is happy, and then they start to delivering if they want to dominate. But if they don't do that, they will be surprised in the next election. But it's good that they've given a chance to prove themselves other than other parties. But I think for other parties to get small numbers because they know themselves, So it's all about MK proving themselves, and then they will dominate. That's what I think about that.
On my side, let me just quickly start from the previous comment that says pre-94, everything was working perfectly. I am almost in agreement with that. As much as I am a child who's from here because my father is from Dobsonville all his life, I'm also a child who's from Cape Town because my mom is in Cape Town. If you're looking at Cape Town under the leadership of DA, you would see proper improvement. You can't even compare the RDP houses of the Western Cape with the RDP houses of any other place because they are so different. You would think they are bond houses. If you go to town, it's actually the safest. It's clean. You can walk 24 hours. I am saying this because I don't want it to look like we do not acknowledge the change of the minority parties in the places they are placed in. I would say the same of the MK. If the MK is going to adopt the same strategy of starting at home, which has been our cry with the government that was in power, that if you say you want to move to things like NHI and other things and infiltrate in other spaces, why don't you start on the government manage things and fix them? So if KZN is then going to start with, MK is going to start with KZN and we see a change in that province, we may all have faith in that as other people have. But you see the people of Cape Town, You can't tell them anything about the DA. They will probably keep voting DA until Jesus comes because they see changes. That's the thing. So you would sit and wonder, why are people voting for DA in numbers in Cape Town? It's the small changes that they see. So with that said, if I was the president, I would actually form a government of national unity where I would take all these parties, all of them, including the parties that got one seat in parliament, as long as those parties were in the they were represented in parliament, I would put them together and we form one big united party to say, in absolutely everything you've said, this is one part that I've loved. Can we take it and incorporate it? Can you tell us your thoughts on how to implement it? Because if you look at them, they all have valid things to say, and those valid things are needed. We cannot say we want only EFF at this stage or ANC or MK at this stage, I feel, as a country, because others have failed you, others have a potential of failing you. But if you put them together in one house and the other one says, we will make sure that immigrants are registered, the other one says, I will make sure that the Home Affairs is held accountable, and the other one says, I will restore unity and the dignity of this country and move change forward. And the other one says, we want economy. We want the equality in this country. Those people put together, they may actually represent us with a better country and better opportunities and better livelihoods. That's my last word of the day.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Nosi.
To add, I would say that if Ramaphosa can do delegation and monitoring, he deal with that, and then they say, like, now, because we're going to be a coalition government, let's delegate dedicated people to go and work for people, and the other parties monitor, make sure that they are monitoring those who said that we're going to work for a people. It was going to be easy, and we're gonna be happy everywhere. Those small parties, as Nosi said, like even if you have got 2 seats, if you know that you can go to this province and make change, go down there or delegate people that can work and give other people a chance, to deliver what they're supposed to deliver at the end of the day, instead of like taking the funds and enriching their pockets, and people are suffering at the end of the day. It's not fair for everyone. But I think we're gonna see change as from now on.
Yeah, definitely, because the country's mandate is to promote unity amongst the citizens. So we see that these countries are striving for the difference in their own interest. So as much as the different parties, ANC, DA, also the MK party, they are now in talks of their coalition government that we are looking forward to. They have sent, because the most top headline is that DA has sent Tommy Leon and Ms. Helen Ziller. They are going to be part of. Go and find out who's Tommy Leon and go and find out who is Helen Ziller.
With Helen Ziller.
Exactly. Come back and tell me what you really think is going to occur in that. So, guys, before we close the show, I'm just going to show you the screen again to go through the results, in text right now. Let me take you and let us read what the IEC has to say. So right now, on top is the official results are out. And according to the Electoral Commission of South Africa, the IEC, the African National Congress, ANC, has obtained only 6,444,202 votes. The ICE said that it has conducted 99% of the vote. This means the ANC has only got 40.19 of the total votes. In 2019, ANC obtained 57.5 of the national vote, which is the majority vote that is needed for a party to be, the leading party of the country. The Democratic Alliance has got around 3,494,750, or 21.8% of the votes. And in 2019, the Democratic Alliance obtained 20.77% of the votes. This shows that the official opposition has grown in these new election. The Umkhonto weSizwe has been a major winner of the election, gaining 2,333,381 votes,
In 5 months.
translate to, yes, indeed, in 5 months. You know, if you don't believe in overnight success, go and ask Mr. Jacob Zuma, man. It's possible. It's possible. So Umkhonto weSizwe has been major winner of this election, gaining 2,333,381 votes, which translates to 14.58%. And then the EFF have not been so lucky. The party obtained 1,524,255, or in percentages, it's 9.51% of the vote. So in 2019, the EFF obtained 10.8% percent of the national vote. So that is all for today when it comes to the election results. I believe we'll come back more when it comes to the delegation and the negotiations that are going to happen when it comes to electing the next president of the Republic of South Africa. It is of the people's interest that we wish to see this country moving forward and becoming better and better each and every day. People have come out, they have casted their vote, they have, went out and spoke about the change that they want to see. Right now we are going to see a lot of changes, so I would like to say to people, brace yourself for change, brace yourself for things that you never saw coming, because the ruling party that was there for a long time has made you to get used to some of the things that when change is coming, you're going to see it as something that is very bad. But now you need to prepare yourself, be there, make sure that you are open-minded, make sure that you listen to these people, what they say, because they have been speaking. Today we have been reminded that they have been speaking, but we have been trying to talk to them. It's like they have not been listening all along. So I would like to say to people, right now it's time to be knowledgeable. Go out there and make sure that you get the information that you need to understand what is going on. When they say the budget of 50 billion, no, make sure that you know how it's going to be allocated in different departments. I know that you are tired of seeing a lot of corruption happening in communities. So go out in numbers, make sure that you get relevant information so that you can, make sure that you are well informed. So guys, I think this is where we are going to end our show, and we are going to see our beautiful people next week. So I would like to say, guys, have a good the rest of your day, and enjoy it. Be warm, guys. Be warm. It's very cold. It's very cold. It's very cold out there. So Nosi, thank you so much for being with us. We'll see you next week.
Definitely more any day. And as we stand, we do not have a president, eh?
Yeah. In the meantime, guys, you can nominate me as the acting president of this country, because I'm dedicated into making sure that everything is well.
I think people they're gonna think twice, about everything that's happening. We're happy, that people they went out and vote, and then they make sure that everything it's okay. Now we drew our eyes to what's gonna happen, and it's interesting. And people they're gonna work because they see that if you don't work, you're out.
Exactly. Share Gaming say, can I be president? I'm just want to tell you that as things stands right now, guys, everyone in this country is a president.
Yep.
These are the ways that Barack Obama once said that if I step down and it just become a couple of hours, consider yourself as a president and consider yourself how it feels to run a country. So all of us right now are presidents. So do make sure to to use that this position to make people very well taken care of. So guys, please Do make sure to follow us on our social media platforms. The Facebook is Share Online. TikTok is also Share Online. Also on YouTube is Share Online. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel and press the notification button so that whenever we go live, you will be notified. So till we see each other next week, guys, please take care of yourself. Please be knowledgeable. Know more information about what is happening in the country, because this country really relies on your decisions. Your vote was casted last week, and it is the power that is in your hand that can make this country a difference. So together from me, Nosi, and Mr. Jabulani, we would like to say to you goodbye, and then we will see you next week.
Bye.
Same time,
Bye.
same place. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, Kenya.